Buckingham Palace notifies Robert and Cora Crawley, Earl and Countess of Grantham, that King George V and Queen Mary will stop by Downton Abbey while on a royal tour of Yorkshire in 1927, or roughly a year and a half after the series events. The Dowager Countess of Grantham, Violet Crawley, worries that Queen Mary's maid of honor, Maud Bagshaw, will also be present at Downton. Robert is Maud's closest relative and great-nephew, but the two families have been at war for a long time over the potential that Maud, who is childless, would pass away without leaving Lord Grantham with a legal inheritance. The royal butler, Mrs. Webb, the royal housekeeper, Miss Lawton, the Queen's maid, Monsieur Courbet, the royal chef, and Richard Ellis, the King's valet, all arrive at Downton. All but Ellis at Downton show contempt and haughtiness toward the servants. The estate's manager, Lady Mary Talbot, the eldest child of the Crawleys, is concerned about how to maintain Downton in a world that is undergoing tremendous change. Mary requests Carson to temporarily resume his responsibilities as Downton's butler after noticing that Barrow is struggling with her preparations for the royal family's arrival. Despite Barrow's objections, he is forced to take a temporary leave of absence. Major Chetwood visits Grantham's Irish son-in-law Tom Branson in the village of Downton and quizzes him about an impending royal visit and procession. Tom believes Chetwood is a covert spy sent to ensure the Irishman poses no threat to the monarchs. The conflict with the neighborhood servants intensifies as the king's servants swarm Downton. In the meantime, Tom and Lady Maud's maid Lucy Smith get close. The Marquis and Marquess of Hexham, Bertie and Edith Pelham, also arrive to Downton. Bertie is requested by the king to travel to Africa with the Prince of Wales for 3 months. The news upsets Edith, the youngest child of Crawley, who informs Bertie that she is expecting a child, who will be born while Bertie is traveling. In the city, the Yorkshire Hussar Regiment parade starts. Chetwood raises a gun to the host of the parade, King, but Tom pursuing him knocks him to the ground and Mary seizes his rifle. Chetwood, a proponent of Irish independence who believed Tom to be his comrade, is captured by secret operatives. Tom finds a woman crying in Downton's garden after observing the soldiers, not realizing that she is Princess Mary. He starts a conversation with the princess that causes her to reflect on her husband. Anna learns that Miss Lawton has been stealing various items from the men's quarters in the meantime. When Lawton refuses to change Lady Edith's ball gown because it was too small for her, she wants their return. The local servants are gathered by Anna and John Bates in the wine cellar to band together and protect Downton's reputation. Wilson is the target of a telephone hoax that Barrow sets up with Ellis' assistance, forcing Wilson to send the whole court staff to London. In order to allow the chef, Mrs. Patmore, and her helper, Daisy, to prepare dinner while Mr. Carson and the Downton footmen serve at the table, Andy locks Mr. Wilson in his room after and sneaks a double dosage of sleeping tablets into Courbet's tea. Mosley claims that Mrs. Patmore prepared the meal and that Downton Abbey workers served them when the monarch praised the new cuisine. The Queen retorts that she is accustomed to individuals acting oddly in front of monarchs. Notwithstanding Robert's apology for Mosley's indecent conduct, Barrow and Ellis leave that afternoon for York. Barrow is waiting for Ellis at a nearby bar as Ellis visits his folks. Barrow is invited by a stranger to an exclusive gay club. The police storm the club shortly after Barrow arrives. And everyone inside is brought to the station. Ellis notices what has happened and obtains Barrow's release by using his position of authority in court. The two decide to keep in touch and plan to cross paths again. Maud wishes to leave her maid a large legacy, which intensifies the battle over her inheritance in Downton. Lady Isabel Merton speculates that the reason Lucy is Maud's heiress is because she is Maud's hidden illegitimate daughter. She instructs Maud to be honest with Violet so that she can accept the circumstances and put an end to the attacks. The following morning, Daisy, who had been having second thoughts about whether Andy's footman was the best choice for her, comes to terms with her feelings and starts organizing the wedding. Mary's husband Henry Talbot makes it back from his trip in time to go with her to the ball at Harwood Manor. Princess Mary tells her parents that Tom has persuaded her to stay married since the interests of the throne are her first priority during a ball at Harwood. Tom is personally thanked by the king. In addition, the Queen persuades the King to excuse Bertie from taking part in the planned trip with the Prince of Wales. Violet hears from Maud about Lucy. Violet agrees to the explanation and makes plans right away to connect the two households via Lucy and Tom, who have agreed to exchange letters. Mary asks her grandmother in private about her most recent trip to London. Violet is happy to be leaving the estate in Mary's capable hands despite the fact that the results of her medical examination are discouraging and she may pass away shortly. Tom dances with Lucy after spotting her on the patio. Mr. Carson and Mrs. Hughes discuss Downton's potential in the contemporary era. According to Carson, the Crawley family will still be residing at Downton after 100 years.